up, 4chan? Here's another video about the evolution of an old OC. This is for Riley Bates, who's also in Seight, so if you're confused about some of the stuff I talk about in this video, I have a link to the others from this story in the description below. Riley started out as this story's main ultra-edgy character. Her design was pretty much based around the fact that I could not, for the life of me, make her eyes look even, so I covered one up with hair. In the story, her full name is Ronalda Bates, but she only tells the gang that her name is Riley. Her powers are the ability to shapeshift and astral project, which I have no idea why I gave her shapeshifting in this one and never actually used it to help her situation. It would have came in handy. So she's just this quiet and kind of mean girl who helps Cat with her training, hates physical contact, and is honestly tsundere as fuck. Well, halfway through the story, this side character, Kayla, gets kidnapped by the bad guys. The Knights. Okay. Bad guys are called Knights, good guys are called Days. It's stupid. So the gang breaks into their hideout to get her back. Riley is super against the plan, but has to follow anyway, because she's part of the gang. When they get there, they find out that the place is run by this man named Joseph Bates. There's this big joke about how he makes everyone call him Master, which means they call him Master Bates, but that's not relevant to the tragic backstory. So, while the gang is going through the place sneaking around, suddenly Riley fades away, like how she does whenever she astral projects. They all panic and look for her, and then they find her with Joseph, only this time her bangs are flipped. Now, the thing about the Days and Knights is that they both have their strengths shown by the colors of their eyes. The Days go by green, blue, and white, with white being the most powerful. And the Knights go by red, purple, and black. The eye Riley shows with the gang is green, but her other eye is red because she is actually Joseph's daughter. Edgy. So what happened was, she was raised to believe that the Knights were the good guys and the Days were the bad. And the Knights are usually cooped up underground and don't experience the outside world because that would show them that they're the wrong ones. Riley can astral project though, so she goes out in private and figures out that she's a bad guy, and she works for the bad guys, and she's pretty much the princess of the bad guys. She's the daughter of the leader. So she keeps on secretly astral projecting and using that form to help out in any way she can, because she can't physically leave the Knights without being killed. And because she's good on the inside, but is also a Knight, one of her eyes changes to green. She winds up turning against her father and joining the Days for good, and when she makes that decision, both of her eyes turn blue, so pretty much she leveled up. This version of Cat's story is pretty much the same as the last one, except for one more stupid thing thrown in. So when they ransack the Knight's lair after Riley disappears, they kinda learn the lore of the Knights. Joseph had an affair with this woman named Lucille, and she wound up pregnant. He didn't want word to come out about her because his wife was pregnant at the time too, so when she had the baby, he took the child and threw it out, then sent Lucille to the cellars, where she wails about her lost daughter, Katrina. Then his wife had Riley. When they find out about Riley being Joseph's daughter and she turns against the Knights, they go to the cellars to free Lucille, and she's ecstatic as all holy hell. She cries out that Katrina came to save her, and they just kinda assume that she went crazy considering she was locked in a goddamn cellar for, 16 years or so? So they bring her back to the base, and Lucille finally explains to them what really happened. Lucille had twins. Catherine and Ronalda. Kat and Rena. Katrina. Joseph's wife had a miscarriage, so he took Ronalda to replace that one, and threw out Kat, who wound up in a foster family. Then Lucille does some magic. I don't really understand what I made of her power, but it moves Kat and Riley's hair back and erases Kat's scar and freckles and tan and makes both of their skin pearly white to show them that without the parts of them that they made on their own, they look identical, because they're identical twins. So yeah, that was an elaborate way of getting away with same face syndrome. I really didn't change her story that much until recently. For this version of her, she can still astral project, but now she can also clone herself. One thing she does a lot is astral projects and then makes the projection a clone of herself, so she can physically be in two places at once. She also actually breaks out of the nights before the story even starts. And when she does, she still has one green eye and one red eye. So she actually seriously gouges the red eye out. That's how determined she is to not be a knight. And also, when she goes back to the hideout with the gang, she straight up kills Joseph. And for the rest of the story, her half-brother Dakota is the villain. Which, I honestly don't know if this version or the last versions of her are more edgy. They're both pretty much up there. This is current Riley. She's not secretly Kat's twin sister or anything. She goes to school and has classes with two other characters in the gang, Gray and Paige. And she's that quiet and intimidating type of student. Like, she rides a motorbike and wears leather jackets and shades inside in the heat, and pretty much goes to class just to sleep in the back. She bleaches her hair because I kind of wanted to break away from that edgy black hair deal she had going on, and none of the other characters were blonde. But her powers are the same cloning and astral projection type thing. When she's transformed, her hair changes to its natural color and texture, and she actually talks to the gang, and they learn that she's actually really sweet and nice. She kind of sticks to traditional superhero kind of jumpsuit for her transformation, but it's also kinda like biker gear. And she winds up getting her eye gouged out by Bailey, which makes her de-transformed self need very thick glasses. So to keep with her aesthetic, she gets prescription shades and just wears them all the time. Paige and Gray don't recognize her at all, even though they see her every day. So, like, when they first meet, they all decide that they need code names or superhero names. Well, they go through all their names on the spot, and Riley's not paying attention, so she goes, Riley. And they're like, no, not your real name. You need to keep your identity a secret. So she goes with Ghost, because her projections are kind of like Ghost, and also a play on Ghost Rider. So Paige and Gray even know that Ghost's real name is Riley, but they still don't recognize her because they're expecting someone who looks and acts completely different from the Riley that they know in class. I don't have much else about her for this one, I'm still working on it. But here you go. That's what I got so far. That's all of Riley. I hope you guys liked it. If I do another one of these videos for Seight, I think it would have to be a compilation of all the other characters, since I didn't draw them that much, and they never really had a lot going on. But afterwards, I could start making some for my other stories. Also, when I hit 10,000 subs, which is very, very soon, I'm gonna make a Q&A, so if you have any questions you'd like answered, comment below. Also, consider commissioning me, so I can buy a pop filter, cause I desperately need it. I'll probably do a speed paint for any commissions if you ask, too. You'll go down in the history books as someone who gave me money. That was lame. Thanks for listening.